Howdy, folks. Hey, I got a message today from somebody who said they're having trouble in some municipalities with people flushing sterilizing wipes and antiseptic wipes down the toilet, and this then backs the sewer up, creating problems in a time when we don't really need any extra problems. And so this person requested that I read a section from the book Population 485 that is about the community sewer rod. So I haven't read this in years, but I'll give it a shot. I don't think it needs any setup other than to say this is about me trying to find my place back in my old hometown, still my hometown of New Auburn, Wisconsin, Nobbert. You cannot foresee the ways a community will make you feel welcome. I was in my second month of residence when the sewer line backed up. If the sewer line plugs between your house and the main, clearing it is your responsibility. But in New Auburn, the responsibility comes with a perk. Anyone living within the village limits is allowed to access the community sewer rod. You need only walk over to the village shop and ask for it. Matt or Mark will lug it down from the storage rack. Before they unhand it, they'll give you a brief overview of fundamentals and technique, outfit you with a pair of rubber-coated gloves, and quite reasonably request that you hose the thing off before you return it. But other than that, you're free to go. The sewer rod isn't a rod at all. It's a 100-foot chunk of spring steel tipped with an elongated wire bulb. The spring steel is 1 inch wide and 1/4 inch thick, all coiled in a steel bracket. The coil forms a circle 3 feet in diameter, and the whole works weighs more than 25 pounds. Theoretically, it is a straightforward operation. One simply descends to the basement, uncaps the sewer pipe, and feeds in the rod until it reaches and dislodges the offending mass. I like words. I unscrewed the sewer cap with a minimum of difficulty. In fact, apart from the resumption of sewage flow, this was the high point of the entire endeavor, as I was able to wield my big red monkey wrench, only recently purchased from Farm and Fleet. Successful monkey wrench moments are so far and few and... I'm going to try that again. Successful monkey wrench moments are so few and far between in the writing business. And I admit to affecting a certain plumberish saunter as I crossed the bespotted basement floor with the cast iron tool dangling from one hand. I spun the knurled adjuster ring with one thumb, fitted the jaws to the cap screw, and expertly twirled the cap free. The glory of this moment was muted by the fact that the cap was plastic and, as it turned out, only hand tight. I rassled the monstrous coil into place, placing the tip in alignment with the portal. To advance the tip, a length of strap had to be unfurled from the X-shaped bracket, and the entire spool rotated in a reverse manner. This worked for a quarter rotation, at which point certain stored ferrous energies exceeded critical mass, causing the spool to unleash acrobatics of the sort normally reserved for objects animated by paranormal possession. The liberated length of strap iron lashed against my shins like an epileptic black mamba. Consequently, the remaining 47 pounds of coil chop-blocked the washing machine, ricocheted off the dryer, and fell flat. The mamba loosed a final spasm, executed a triple Radamacue death dance down my anterior tibial ridge, then went still. Deeply organic words were spoken. I gathered the whole works up again. It was like trying to embrace the spinning beaters of a foul, oversized electric mixer. The tip breached the portal and the operation recommenced. Bit by bit, the sewer rod disappeared down the pipe. Progress was inconstant and frequently disrupted by desperate lunging and rants referencing chop saws, scrap yards, and cruel, cruel fate. Tools, I am ashamed to say, were thrown. At one point, I resolved to initiate the permitting process required for the installation of an old-fashioned outdoor biffy. Still, my secret weapon has always been being too dumb to know when to quit, and with less than 5 feet of the rod remaining, I punched through to daylight, if you will allow the analogy. The residual contents of the pipe gurgled merrily downstream, and I rejoined the ranks of the modernly convenienced. In the interest of ink, paper, and time, I will leave to your imagination the contortions and vituperations required to re-roll the soiled sewer rod and stow it in its holder. When I presented the neatly swabbed and furled apparatus to Matt, there remained only a slight, wild-eyed whiffiness about my person to suggest the Herculean efforts and Steve Dorian oratory invoked during the repackaging process. And yet, as I walked back to my flushable house, peace ebbed back through my heart, ushered therein by the thought that I had successfully navigated a communal rite of passage. Never mind your cartoony Chamber of Commerce tourist maps. Don't talk to me about city charters or mission statements or public transit or municipal pools. Spare me your block parties and welcome wagons. You want to make me feel at home? Give me a town that shares its sewer rod. That one's for Nobbern. Yes, sir. Population 485. I'm always trying to be careful with facts when I do nonfiction. That's a nonfiction book. I actually did a lot of research and checked facts. But every once in a while you read something, you realize a mistake you can't even believe slipped through. And there's one in that passage. I just realized it. I said that the sewer rod weighed 25 pounds. Then later I said the remaining 47 pounds. Now I know for a fact that I went over to the shop and we weighed the sewer rod so that I would be accurate. But now I don't know whether it was 50 pounds or 25. We'll leave that mystery to history. Take care of each other, folks. Forward.